Today we're going to talk about digital identity, and specifically we're going to try to investigate a bit how identity develops in adolescence, and starting from that we will see how these apply to the online world, what are the main challenges, and then of course how youth worker can support. As we said at the beginning, we're going to talk about how adolescence is a key phase for building a current and socially recognized sense of self. Today, this process is becoming, like it's happening both offline and online. During what you shared, there has been it's been already named this differentiation between offline and online, but what it become quite urgent also to acknowledge is that it's not even accurate to state such a differentiation, because we're still there even when we turn off our devices, and what is happening online, it's actually affecting our life offline, and what is happening offline is shaping our online experience. We will talk about offline context and online context, even though we are aware that they belong to the same reality, the same experience that we do of the world. And it's become crucial when we are talking about the dynamics that are helping in this phase of life to shape identity. When we're talking about digital identity, you already said a lot, and it's not just a profile. It's not just the account that we create in order to be online, but it's also about everything that having a profile and performing that profile implies. So it's about self-presentation, it's about belonging, feedback, privacy, visibility, and so on. And for us as youth workers is quite important to talk about it, because it comes to self-image, relationships, sexuality, we will see, and safety. So the process of building identity throughout adolescence has been studied by the psychology of developmental psychology. One of the father of the discipline is Erickson, and within this framework, the psychologists describe the task of building a solid sense of self, a solid identity, as the main task of this stage. So on one side, succeeding this moment of life is about building this identity, and on the other side, the price to pay if not succeeding in the task is a certainty, as you were mentioning before already, exclusion. Later models are describing the process, distinguishing two main actions, which are about exploration and commitment. So in this moment of life, young people are trying out different options, different possibilities. They express themselves in different ways, asking questions. So basically, they are indeed exploring the options that are given to them, and then gradually stabilizing some choices. The fact is, the research is showing us that the process of building identity is not quite fixed, but it's something that builds over time through repeated cycles of trying, revising, and consolidating. And that is because identity is not built in isolation, but it's built within relationship. And as we know, relationship can change, can evolve, and they can be also quite different one from another. So feedback belonging and comparison are crucial. I would say always throughout our or all our life, but especially in during adolescence. And the feedback, the recognizing of peers and significant adults influence how people see themselves, whether they feel acceptable, whether they can feel recognized. Um, so there are research in psychology showing how much we're actually responding to the way other people, and especially, of course, people with which the relationship are quite intimate. We respond to the way they see us by becoming what I see. Um, and this is even stronger, even more tangible online, because this is there all the time. It's present all the time. But we were saying so about the process in adolescence. This makes young people quite sensitive to visibility, to approval, and to exclusion. And again, these are phenomena that are always there when it comes to the online context, especially social media, which is what we will be focused on today when we will talk about the online context. So identity is not only about who am I, but also about who am I seen and where do I belong in a response of so not just our inner world, but also the outer world. About that, I think that we in different moments of our life, we all might struggle with this sense of not feeling enough, and it's interesting to observe how digital platforms, for the way they are designed, can try to fill these voids. But like besides this specific example, which I like. No one of us can, I guess, have really the task to handle. But in general, I think it's really interesting, and it's what maybe we're all called to do. Observe how some experiences, some challenges that we can all face at moments of our lives, because we have ups and downs. I mean, it's normal, but how these struggles, these challenges can also be met somehow by the digital platform, and in which way, and how can we think about safely cross this process. I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but it's more about being vulnerable is okay, and like finding some support online is also okay. It's important to be aware of the process that is in between. Like, is it this happening safely? Is this happening allowing myself to be my fullest self? You know, like, am I dragged in some directions, and why, and in whose interests? Yeah, because then we will see it quickly, because there is not much space, even though it's super interesting. But the platforms are like the value system behind the platforms is capitalistic, you know. So there is a profit intent behind how they are designed. So like it's urgent to ask ourselves, okay, but if I do this or that, or if I find this or that online, what's behind? It's a huge topic. Baby steps. So what changes online in the process of building identity? So the same developmental processes are continuing, are still happening, but there are new conditions that are shaping it. Because the platforms are making identity more visible, measurable, and persistent. And this happens through all the tools that we have available, which, depending on the platform, are likes, comments, views, followers. So the feedback is there, is immediate, is countable, and is visible to me, and also often to all the people I care about or I care of. Um, the online identity is not shaped only by peers, but also, and you said it already, guys, at the beginning, is also shaped by the platform architecture and algorithms. So we were, like you were saying, that my identity is, my digital identity and identity in general is shaped by what I receive and the way I receive it. So what are the tools that the young people are using to build digital identity? It's posting, commenting, messaging, sharing. Like there is a high care about what stays visible and what disappears, and there is a conscious choice around this. It's about adapting tone and content to different audiences, monitoring reactions and social signals, and using privacy settings, multiple accounts, or pseudonymous. And this means also something you said already, that a digital identity is often multiple, strategic, and context dependent. When you were saying about different platforms are actually bringing up different aspects of you. So we have a little video. No, it's not little. We have a video about the algorithm and about some stuff that we said already. And guys, it's a bit long because it's 11 minutes. So sorry for that, but it's quite complete. And we are mentioning the algorithms here, and maybe we don't have all the skills to explain how they work for you. So we thought that maybe we could give voice to someone who has. So there you go, 11 minutes of video. Okay, like that, like that. There we go.
Do you ever find yourself scrolling on social media and notice that after watching one cooking video, suddenly your entire feed is filled with the newest recipes? Or after clicking on a political post, you're instantly bombarded with similar content? At a glance, it feels like the platform just knows you. But is it really reflecting who you are? Or is it shaping who you become? We like to believe our sense of selves are built by us, that it is a result of our beliefs, experiences, and upbringing. But in a digital world, algorithms play a big role in creating, curating, and sometimes reinforcing our identities. So, what is an algorithm?
I'm here to talk to Dr. Mark Bunnage.
My role at Vertex is to lead our global research and development strategy and trying to understand the biology of disease, then come forward with a potential new medicine to treat that disease. That's what motivates me and my team every single day.
It's a set of rules or calculations that govern a platform based on what you interact with. In simple terms, it determines the content you see to boost engagement from you as a viewer. But algorithms don't just show us what we like. It subtly guides us towards new beliefs, ideas, and even identities. But why does this matter? Because in a world of convenience, people are unwilling to put in effort in defining themselves. Algorithms take advantage of this, making us far easier to influence. A digital world has made life easier in ways that can't be imagined. Information and opportunities are at our fingertips, but this comes at a cost. When everything is customized for us, we stop seeking different perspectives. And when an algorithm gives you an identity on a silver platter, you are less likely to work on yourself. Self-discovery isn't effortless. Developing beliefs, ideas, and forming an identity requires time and work. So why struggle with these things when an algorithm can tell you what's right? Any interaction with a video, whether it be likes, comments, or mere seconds of watch time, feeds the algorithm, helping it modify what keeps us engaged. The more we engage, the more it carefully crafts a version of reality that gets the most engagement from us, one that influences who we are. Think about it. How often do you notice traits of your peers being passed on to you? How often do you find yourself using phrases simply because you hear them repeatedly? This influence transcends our physical world and exists digitally, leading us to internalize what we consume. For instance, let's say your feed is filled with the newest product. You may feel compelled to buy it, not because you want it or because you need it, but because the algorithm suggests you should. Or if algorithms begin highlighting body trends, you may find yourself questioning your own appearance. With this, our digital identities aren't just reflections of ourselves, but instead being shaped by the content that we consume. Over time, an algorithmic world can reinforce aspects of our personality while ignoring others. It does this by providing us with a personalized experience, one where all the content we see is being filtered specifically for us. This leads to what's known as a filter bubble, a term coined by Eli Pariser in his book, The Filter Bubble: What the Internet is Hiding from You. He mentions how algorithms isolate us intellectually by showing us content that aligns with our pre-existing beliefs. This prevents us from growing as people, as we are stuck with the same ideals. Instead of seeing a broad range of perspectives, we remain trapped in an echo chamber, one where the same ideas are being reinforced over and over again. But it's not just our shopping habits that are being shaped, but even our political. But do algorithms actually influence our behavior, not just our thoughts? The answer is yes. An academic article by Stefan Zak and Maria Hasprova highlights the role of influences in the decision-making process of consumers. It mentions how in a market that uses social media, influencers impact consumers' thoughts, opinions, and attitudes, leading to a significant increase in demand for particular products. Influencer marketing has become increasingly popular over the years due to the positive effects it has for businesses, but not really for the consumer. In the article, a survey was put out to respondents of various ages. It found that 45% of respondents admitted to being influenced to buy clothes, while 21.9% admitted to buying a product simply because a favorite influencer promoted it. In our digital world, influencers aren't just people promoting products, but are a part of a much larger system designed to shape our choices.
Oh, I've been looking forward to having this conversation all day. I love Canada.
Take one. Are we ready for a top 5?
The reality is, we aren't just making choices, but instead are being guided towards them. Our preferences and desires are being shaped by an invisible force, one that learns, adapts, and refines its methods in order to make you more likely to consume. But it's not just our shopping habits that are being shaped, but even our political beliefs. An article by Angela Biswas, Nikki Engle, and Mausumi Roy highlights the attitude shift of voters in the 16th Lok Sabha election. A major differentiator being the use of social media to sway potential voters. Over time, social media has been used as a marketing tool by political candidates to gain the votes of the masses. Because of this, more politicians have become active online. All of this results in a world where we are constantly performing for an algorithm. We adopt new beliefs, opinions, and habits that get general engagement, not necessarily something that aligns with ourselves. This leads to a loss of individuality and even mental health struggles, as we are constantly comparing ourselves to what we see online. Seeing a constant stream of the highlights of the lives of others can have us questioning our own lives, leading to feelings of inadequacy and people feeling. But the scariest part about all this, many of us don't notice it's happening. Now, let's talk about trends. How many of you partake in trends just because everyone else is doing them? It's fairly normal in our current age for trends to spread like wildfire in popularity. And while trends can be fun, some, led by influence, have scarring effects. Do you remember the Tide Pod Challenge? A trend that began as a joke and led to numerous people being hospitalized? Harvard Health published an article blaming this on the idea that these trends become so popular due to the millions of people who encourage them. Millions who don't care about your well-being. So why should we care? Because authenticity matters. Ourselves should be determined by real experiences, values, and choices, not a computer program designed to keep us glued to our screens. If we allow algorithms to dictate who we are, we lose the human experience of choosing who we are and growing as individuals. But the good news is, we are not powerless. If algorithms are changing our identities, how do we reclaim individuality? It's as simple as being aware of the algorithm. When engaging with content, ask yourself, is this really who I am? Or you could prioritize real experiences, spend time offline, and engage in things that bring you genuine joy without any influence. Social media isn't inherently bad. It connects, inspires, and entertains us. But if we are not careful, it can shape us. We need to ask ourselves, are algorithms a reflection of us, or are we created by it? True individuality isn't found in the content that gets the most likes, but instead in the choices we make without anything pushing us. A philosopher named Soren Kierkegaard once said, "Once you label me, you negate me." Let's not let algorithms label or define us. Let's reclaim our individuality beyond social media. Let you define who you want to be. Thank you.
Thank you to be here. Good morning to everyone. For this first hour of this morning, I do all the back office work with a very, very old computer. So I hope it won't leave us, and I open also my phone's connection. So what would you talk about for the next hour? Now we will talk about what young people may seek online. I think that a big mistakes that all of us do about, thank you, Carrie, about our thinking on internet and young people link on internet is to think that web is a very dangerous place, and that young people are only interested in silly contents. For me, this is an old visual, an old point of view that don't reflects the needed of young people and the use that young people do about social and webs. In fact, they don't go online only for entertainment, only for, like example, free videos or music or free time. But the internet has become a space of belonging that links people who have similar features. For example, I'm almost 40 years old, and when I was a teenager, it was impossible to think to talk about sexuality or problems of the age as free as we now can talk about. So I think that digital spaces can offering also links and a space of recognition to people who feels special, who feels marginalized in their offline environments. So it's a common mistake to think that is only a silly place or a place that or a place that offers only entertainment. It can only offer a safe place to develop personalities and to recognize personal features. So it's a space of affirmation, and it's not simple to find it also in the offline world. Internet can make communities and links people that are not living. I'm just thinking about, for example, very small cities or very small realities that some features are not so clear and not so developed. So internet can make an online community and let that a teenager can be recognized and to feel part of a group. And this is not so simple offline. Okay, can you go? Thank you. So we had to move our point of view from from how long teenagers be online, from what they do online. In fact, if we saw about recent evidence, we can know that an active use is associated with more identity exploration. I aim to do a personal example when I say that 20 years ago it is impossible to talk about these themes. Probably because online issues are not so developed as now. And then is social comparison is linked both to exploration and to higher identity stress. So we can't can go on thinking about how much teenagers use socials, internet, and online features, but how and with what effects. It's important to move our point of view, and obviously this is a very, very important features for people who works with teenagers and with adolescents. At the same time, can go on, Rachele. Now the lawyer that lives in me must say something about the risks, because we can't talk, we can't only talk positive. I think that it's unreal to describe only positive features of an instrument. Reality is made also of good things and also of risks. So if we say that socials and internet and online issues are a resource to make a community and to feel someone part of a community, there is another side, so the risks of these, and the risks is also that they send to us unreal views of life. I'm thinking about content creator who describes very perfect lives, who describes rich lives, who describes success. And I think how this made a pressure, for example, in an insecure teenager. So it's okay that thinking that it's a place of community, of linking, but we also have mind that there are this aim can be also a risk, because obviously a community intensify comparison, about body image, about popularity, about what is important for in life. What I think that what is important for life in life changes for all of us, and to write a model of success of a rich life may become a risk for teenagers who who are building our digital identity. And I think that if you are some of you, when we finished the group labor, says that disconnect also all of his accounts, and someone says that creates different contents on different social. I think that this sends us a very important message, that social made also something very dangerous, that let us to always been connected, always been performative, also been online and perfect. This is a risk of using internet and socials and to found our information on content creator, because we don't have we don't always have a real image. So this, when I think about the risk of digital identity, I think about a source of pressure. I had to be performative. I have to be perfect. I'm not like, my body isn't perfect. My study career isn't perfect. My clothes aren't perfect. So a term of comparison, which often isn't real, can be a source of vulnerability, a source of being performative. I had to make all content. I had to show the people I'm involved in projects. I'm involved in lives, and obviously this put our term very high. Can you go on, Rachele? But we also have another risk, and this is properly a legal risk, that is catfishing. I would like to I had to show you all these examples, and I put the accent on the unreality of social life, because we have to consider that the unreality of social life may be front of us, maybe front unreal profiles, unreal identities. So not only the content that show us unreal style of life, but also unreal identity, that catfishing is creation of a fake online identity, all in order to deceive others, and often turns in romance scams. For example, is often to crazy. Sorry, and my friend. So it's very frequently romance scam. I think it's the most frequent result of catfishing. Someone who creates a fake online identity, links with another profile, this time real, probably before studying his profile, what he likes, and try to create a links, a romance, relationships only online, and to secure, to provide, for example, economics issues, or so she was convinced to travel to South Korea and was put in drugs in a bed and got arrested. Well, it's not so unfrequent. In my professional life, I saw a lot of romance scams. Not only I got for a little bit out of team, not only with teenagers, but also with adults. And a common error, a common mistake is to think that romance scams are only for fragile people. because there are there a variety, a very big variety of romance scams, from economics to drugs, or and now with the social that are part of our lives, sexual mix of images. For example, in Italy we have an injuries that we call the revenge porn. That is an horrible name, but it's not frequent that romance scams takes to changes images and then put them on internet, on socials. So catfishing is a real problem, and I think it's important when we talk about digital identity to talk about fake online identity. So this is important because digital identities must be created and managed in a safe way, also to protect people from these types of scams. So when we think about safe way, what we will think about, for example, to me is not to share very personal elements, not to share, for example, where we live, or economics issues, and to talk someone about this frequentation. Rachele, can you go on? Okay, some data. I'm in blankets. I'm going quickly because we have a very good activity, and I would like to take some time for it. So some data, as you can said, as you can read, a lot of people, almost all teenagers have managed to have to use a social. The dates that said that sorry, teens who are online almost constantly has rolled up since 2014 and 2015. I think also because social net from that years, we have a lot of different social networks and a lot of different ways to use them. As you see that almost all teenagers use social or internet. Now, I would like to say something about my job, because last week we do lessons about teenagers that are constantly online, and about dependence of social. And there was a therapist that said that when we talk about this data, we also considered that has changed also not only the way to communicate, to have a friend, to have a community, but also to study. Because often teenagers use socials and internet as a way to get informations, or to get issues for schools. And we can't ignore this data when we talk about teenagers that use social and internet. Can go on, Rachele? Okay, so as we to resume what we said this morning, what does a supportive youth work look like? About, obviously, digital identity. We can say that a youth worker can support looking at the need behind the behavior, reducing shame and moral panic. And this, please, is very important. When, as you notice, when I talk about romance scams, I want, and when I said that what can we do to make a safe digital identity, I don't talk about share personal image, because this can be a pulse of shaming. Helping young people reflect on comparison, visibility, and boundaries. Obviously, talking about how we use these instruments and what they give us, it's always important. And obviously strengthening critical thinking about content, platform, and sources, connecting them to safer, more credible, and more inclusive online spaces. So we can move from reduced screen time to working on identity. As we said before, it's not how much, but how. It's important to move from this point of view. And obviously, to make the teenagers to be critical about contents, not passive viewers.